You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Some say it's the root of all evil. Some say it makes the world go round. But the truth is, it's much simpler than all that. One of the first things that I had to accomplish when I first started getting a good grasp on personal finance was understanding what money actually is. Before I understood this, I had the same misconceptions that most people do. It made me really not like money, but now I love it. So today I wanted to help you learn to love it too. And I thought we could do this by learning its true nature. So how about we have a bit of fun by starting with some preliminary tests. Tests that will maybe tell us why money is valuable. So, test number 1. Can you eat it? To help us, I got my friend Kurt to come over. Everyone say hi to Kurt. Okay, so that didn't really work. Let's try something different. So later that day, we went to dinner with Kurt's brother Eric. Once Eric happened to step away to use the bathroom, we expertly placed the dollar bill for testing. Alright, so before we get too carried away, let's actually learn something valuable today. So to cut to the chase, according to economists, money has 3 qualities that make it, well, money. And those are a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Medium of exchange means that it's a widely accepted item for trade. This means that it acts as an intermediary between buyers and sellers of something. Instead of bartering where 2 people have to be matched up who are looking for exactly what the other person has, money allows us to exchange things very simply. I don't have to have the specific item that the other person is looking for. I just have to have money to be able to trade with them. And as long as I have money in my pocket, I should be able to go out into society and acquire whatever it is I'm looking for, so long as I have enough money for it. So exchange between people happens very easily and very efficiently. And like we talked about in the last video on the history of money, this increases interaction and cooperation between larger and larger groups of people. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into this subject and kind of how the history of money evolved over time to then allow us to cooperate at grander scales, I would highly recommend checking out the book Sapiens, as it talks about this at length. The second quality is unit of account. Now, a unit of account is just simply a unit whereby we can measure something. Now, money has this quality because we can use it as a unit to then measure something with. For example, we can look at an item and evaluate it based on the number of dollars that it is worth. Most importantly, we can measure different things with the same unit of measurement, which is money. And this allows us to compare things that are not related to each other at all. This is important for society because it allows us to compare things like a carton of eggs versus a pair of boxing gloves. Obviously, these things aren't related to each other at all, but by using money as this unit of account, we can then compare the relative value of each item against each other. Now, taking this a step further, businesses can use money as a unit of account to then be able to measure things like their income and their expenses. And without money, there would be no way to reliably measure this. It would be hard to say something like, well, we sold 10 pairs of boxing gloves this year, but it costed us 5 meters of leather. I have no idea how boxing gloves are made. How would you know how much profit you made in this case? Having this unit of money also allows us to compare businesses against one another. We can tell who's big, who's small, who's doing well, and who's not. And also, importantly, it allows us to ensure that everyone's following the rules and that they're keeping all the proper checks and balances in place. And last but not least, money is also a store of value. Now, a store of value means that an item can be put away, saved, and then later retrieved, and that item will still have its value intact. This is a super important aspect of money. Now, in the previous video on the history of money, we talked about how early bartering societies used things like crops and livestock to barter with. Now, you can't exactly put a cow somewhere for 50 years and then come back and expect it to still be valuable, let alone alive. However, with our current version of money, we can do that. And that's actually a really important part of personal finance, saving our money. If we didn't have the ability to collect money and save it like this, the world would probably be a much more chaotic place as it was in the past when societies had forms of money that didn't have the store of value quality. If you knew your money was about to lose its value, you might be more prone to using violence to try and take somebody else's money, or to try and control the means of how that money was produced. And there's still places in the world today that struggle with this because their currency is not a reliable store of value. There are some countries where their currencies fluctuate in value wildly due to things like political or violent actions. And that's why this characteristic of money is so important, because it allows society to be much more stable and cohesive when it is in place. So that essentially answers the question, what is money? If what you have in your pocket ticks all 3 boxes, medium of exchange, unit of account, and store of value, then you, my friend, have some money. So that's it for today. Now, before we end this video, I actually have one more thing I wanted to say. If you've been enjoying the videos that I've been producing so far here at Cash College, I have one simple ask for you guys in return. If you wouldn't mind tapping the like button, leaving a comment for me, and subscribing if you're not already, I would greatly appreciate it, because doing these 3 things really helps support this channel and this project that I'm trying to create for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all again soon.